Okay guys, here we are. We are gonna look at Professor Alex being in the underhook position, going to my single leg, and then me countering with a sprawl, front headlock position, and taking his back. So in the flow, every time, we've ended up here in this underhook. I whizzer, and instead of letting my head go down, I make sure I keep my head up so that he cannot just take my back. So he's gonna enter in this time on my single. And here I am. From this position, where am I gonna go? Okay? My hand of the leg that he has is gonna go in his armpit and whizzer. Okay? From this position, okay, I'm gonna put a hard whizzer in to make sure that his head made some space, and I'm gonna cup his head, push it down, and put my foot on the floor. The biggest mistake that people make is they try to yank the leg out from this position, okay? From this up position. They try to pull the leg out and that doesn't happen. Push the head down, put my foot to the floor. From here is when I will start my sprawling action of getting him down, cupping the chin, and now here I am in my front headlock position, just like we looked at a second ago. One, pull the arm, draw the chin across so my knee touches my elbow, and seatbelt grip. Again. We're in this underhook, okay? He goes to my single. I immediately whizzer. I use that whizzer to create separation so I can cup the head. Notice my elbow is tight. Push everything down, his head and my foot. Start to sprawl and cup the chin. Slide back, and here I am in my front headlock. And now everything's the same as we did before. 1, 2, 3. Okay guys, we are going to look at taking the back from the turtle. So, Professor's in the turtle. We are going to start with understanding the concept of whether I am inside the arm, elbow space or not. We are going to start today with inside. So a lot of times when we spin around to that back from the front headlock, this is where we end up. My knee in between his elbow and his knee. I pushed them the wrong way. His elbow and his knee. So that's where we end up with a seatbelt grip. When we have that space, we can have a seatbelt grip. If I don't have that space, I have to go all the way behind and come to 2 underhooks. But for today to start, with the space, clasp my hands, open the knee, switch the knees so that I have my other knee in the space. From this position, guys, okay, I'm gonna start to tilt. Sit down and tilt, pull him tight. Spin towards the camera. Notice my knee is peeking through the space, okay? That's what was so important with the knee in the space. If my knee was behind him right now, he would just be out and turning. But since I broke him down, since my knee was in that space, when he starts to try to get over that leg, my other hook can come in and my foot kicks through. So that as he's trying to move, he just moves right into the hooks, and here I am on the back. One more time. We spun around. Here's my grips. Open the space up, switch the knees. Tilt. There's the knee in the space. Look, I'm not hanging out. Right away, my hook comes in, and right away, I pull his back to my chest. If I let him stay crunched, come back over my foot for a second. If I let him stay head to his knees, and now I try to kick this foot through, it becomes very hard. He can stay tight, he can re-turtle. This becomes very difficult for me. I stretch him out. Feel comfortable here to move, Professor?
Not at all.
And now the foot kicks through, and there we go. The other option that we want to look at, spin around so they can see what I do. Yep, we can face that way. Yep. Is sometimes when I have somebody riding up a little higher, this happens to me all the time. Because notice, Professor Alex can probably sit with his butt on his heels and stay turtled very tightly. I cannot do this, okay? Whenever Professor Alex takes my back, he does something a little different when I'm showing, because this is as far as like I sit down. I always have this space, so collapsing me forward can be very hard. So when I have my partner sitting up a little more and there's space here, When I go to tilt like this, I tend to fall off too much, okay? So the way that I deal with that, guys, is I take my leg, my foot, and I steer his foot out, and it spins us down a little bit. Pull the chest to the back, hook one, hook two. One more time, okay? Again, notice the difference. Go nice and low, like, so a lot of times we have this space. When we're here, look, you can tilt the person over and be okay because he was sitting down. But when their butt's a little higher, okay, they're built up a little more. When I try this tilt, I fall off. So I take my foot and I step and I pull his leg out. It twists us down. My knee is still peeking out the space. One, and my hook's coming. 1, 2, 3.